Recent changes in U.S. immigration laws passed by Congress. The debate over U.S. immigration policy remains highly contested, with lawmakers divided between stricter enforcement and expanded legal pathways. These decisions will shape the nation's future, impacting millions of lives. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel, U.S. Immigration News. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we're going to talk about, if you're interested in this topic, please pay attention and watch the video through to the end to get all the information. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. In recent weeks, U.S. immigration policy has been thrust into the spotlight with significant legislative proposals emerging from Congress. This wave of reform, driven by concerns over border security and the integrity of the nation's legal immigration system, is reshaping the landscape for both legal entrants and those attempting to cross the border illegally. María Elvira Salazar's Revolutionized Dignity Act. At the forefront of these changes is Representative María Elvira Salazar, who has introduced a groundbreaking reform known as the Revolutionized Dignity Act. This law is designed to protect long-term residents, individuals who have been in the country for over 5 years, who did not enter during the Biden administration, who may have children born in the United States, and who have consistently paid their taxes. Salazar's initiative is a direct response to a misleading media campaign that has sought to discourage legal immigration by instilling fear and uncertainty. By clarifying and strengthening these protections, her bill aims to raise the tone of the immigration debate and restore confidence in the established legal processes. New proposals targeting illegal immigration. In contrast, efforts aimed at supporting legal immigration, a newly proposed House bill seeks to dramatically alter the naturalization process for illegal immigrants. Spearheaded by Congressman Corey Miles, the bill would amend the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965. Under its provisions, any individual who enters or crosses the border illegally would no longer be eligible for U.S. citizenship, even if later caught or registered. This measure is intended to eliminate the loopholes that have historically allowed for legalizing status after an illegal entry, thereby reinforcing the message that there are proper, documented channels for entering the country. Social media scrutiny and the immigration process. Another controversial aspect of the current legislative discussions is the proposed monitoring of social media for those applying for immigration benefits. Applicants could face closer scrutiny of their online activities, with the government reviewing posts and connections as part of the interview process. For example, if an applicant is found posting images with individuals who do not align with their claimed personal relationships or family structure, their application could be rejected outright. This new rule emphasizes that anyone wishing to enter the United States must not only follow established legal pathways, but also conform to behavioral expectations once within the process. Border security and the broader implications. The immigration debate extends beyond legislative text. It is also about enforcing the law at the border. Under previous policies, particularly during the Biden administration, over 10 million encounters were reported. Critics argue that these policies allowed criminals to exploit the system, creating challenges for border security and national integrity. The proposed bills aim to close these loopholes, ensuring that only those who adhere strictly to legal protocols can gain entry and eventually become citizens. Political and social ramifications. These legislative proposals have sparked heated debates, with stark partisan divides. Many conservatives applaud the moves as necessary to protect national sovereignty and reduce taxpayer burdens, while critics claim these measures unfairly penalize individuals seeking a better life. This video has also touched on broader issues of accountability and consistency, as some prominent Democrats have been criticized for their responses to other domestic issues, further intensifying the political debate. Conclusion. The current wave of immigration reform represents a significant shift in U.S. policy, emphasizing legal procedures, border security, and strict adherence to the established immigration framework. With proposals like the Revolutionized Dignity Act and the new citizenship restrictions on illegal entrants, Congress is setting the stage for a redefined immigration system that aims to balance humanitarian concerns with robust national security measures. https://nypost.com/2025/03/2/7/news/house-new/ever-getting Show website. A House Republican bill would prohibit those who enter the United States illegally from obtaining citizenship. House Republican lawmakers are looking to ban illegal immigrants from ever obtaining citizenship, saying the drastic measure is the best way to deter unlawful entrants into the U.S. On Thursday, Representative Corey Mills introduced the No Citizenship for Alien Invaders Act, which amends the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965 to state that no alien who enters the United States unlawfully shall be eligible for naturalization. Under the Biden administration, we saw more than 10 million encounters at our borders, a crisis exacerbated by reckless catch-and-release policies that allowed criminals who broke our laws to remain in the United States, Mills told the Post. President Trump has made it clear that anyone that tries to unlawfully undermine, exploit, or bypass our immigration system is a criminal. Mills, 44, who was married to a refugee from Iraq who became a U.S. citizen, argued that the privilege of citizenship should be reserved for those who respect our laws. The measure is co-sponsored by Representatives Josh Burchine, Republican Oklahoma, Anna Paulina Luna, Republican Florida, and Andy Harris, Republican Maryland, the last of whom chairs the House Freedom Caucus. America is a nation of laws, and if we allow those laws to be subverted by illegal aliens who have no constitutional right to be here in the first place, then we will cease to be a nation, Burchine said. Time and time again, Congress refuses to enforce our immigration laws, complains about it being broken, promises to fix it for good in exchange for amnesty programs, and then never actually enforces a law like they promised. Added Luna, we need to draw a line in the sand for the sake of the American people. There can be no citizenship for the nearly 20 million people who live here illegally. During fiscal year 2024, there were an estimated 2.9 million encounters nationwide, according to data from U.S. Customs and Border Control. Encounters with illegal immigrants have dropped precipitously under President Trump, with 28,654 recorded during this past February, compared to 256,071 during February of 2024, per U.S. Customs and Border Patrol control data. About 818,500 people became U.S. citizens last year, according to the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. The No Citizenship for Alien Invaders Act is intended to dovetail with Trump's push to enforce immigration laws and secure U.S. borders. Republicans in Congress are developing sweeping legislation to fund Trump's agenda package that includes sweeping border security measures. GOP leaders are hoping to get that bill to Trump's desk by Memorial Day. But in the interim, the House has been mulling smaller measures to beef up border security and immigration law, such as the Laken-Riley Act, which the president signed into law in January. Should the No Citizenship for Alien Invaders Act pass the House, the bill would likely face a Democratic filibuster in the Senate, which requires 60 votes to overcome. https://www.newsweek.com/immigration-illegals-citizenships-migrants-2052260. Show website. Millions of people will be unable to obtain U.S. citizenship if the bill is passed. For House Republicans have introduced legislation that would bar all immigrants who enter the United States illegally from ever obtaining legal citizenship. Florida Representative Corey Mills introduced the No Citizenship for Alien Invaders Act on Thursday. Bill co-sponsors include Oklahoma Representative Josh Burchine, Maryland Representative Andy Harris, and Florida Representative Anna Paulina Luna. Why it matters. The bill comes as the Trump administration has remained aggressive in its illegal immigration enforcement measures, which have included more formidable threats against nations, including longtime U.S. allies, to deter illegal entry into the states. A social media campaign by the administration has included visa warnings on U.S. Embassy X and Facebook pages around the world, featuring top officials, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Now, if you are in this country to promote Hamas, to promote terrorist organizations, to participate in vandalism, to participate in acts of rebellion and riots on campus, We never would have let you in if we had known that. You lied to us. You're out. In recent weeks, multiple nations in Europe and the Nordic regions have updated their travel advisories, warning their citizens to be careful if traveling to the U.S. without proper documentation. These countries have included Germany, Denmark, Canada, and Australia. Earlier this week, the Trump administration announced that it had paused some green card applications, potentially affecting thousands who came to the United States as refugees or asylum seekers. What to know? If enacted, the No Citizenship for Alien Invaders Act would amend Section 312 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, which bill sponsors say will protect American sovereignty by ensuring that illegal immigrants cannot exploit the U.S. immigration system. It combines upholding the rule of law while strengthening border security. Under the Biden administration, we saw more than 10 million encounters at our borders, a crisis exacerbated by reckless catch-and-release policies that allowed criminals who broke our laws to remain in the United States. Mills said in a statement on Thursday, President Trump has made it clear that anyone that tries to unlawfully undermine, exploit, or bypass our immigration system is a criminal. 4 House Republicans have introduced legislation that would bar all immigrants who enter the United States illegally from ever obtaining legal citizenship. Florida Representative Corey Mills introduced the No Citizenship for Alien Invaders Act on Thursday. Bill co-sponsors include Oklahoma Representative Josh Pachin, Maryland Representative Andy Harris, and Florida Representative Anna Paulina Luna. Why it matters. The bill comes as the Trump administration has remained aggressive in its illegal immigration enforcement measures, which have included more formidable threats against nations, including longtime U.S. allies, to deter illegal entry into the states. A social media campaign by the administration has included visa warnings on U.S. Embassy X and Facebook pages around the world, featuring top officials, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Now, if you are in this country to promote Hamas, to promote terrorist organizations, to participate in vandalism, to participate in acts of rebellion and riots on campus, we never would have let you in if we had known that. You lied to us. You're out. In recent weeks, multiple nations in Europe and the Nordic regions have updated their travel advisories, warning their citizens to be careful if traveling to the U.S. without proper documentation. These countries have included Germany, Denmark, Canada, and Australia. Earlier this week, the Trump administration announced that it had paused some green card applications, potentially affecting thousands who came to the United States as refugees or asylum seekers. What to know? If enacted, the No Citizenship for Alien Invaders Act would amend Section 312 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, which bill sponsors say will protect American sovereignty by ensuring that illegal immigrants cannot exploit the U.S. immigration system. It combines upholding the rule of law while strengthening border security. Under the Biden administration, we saw more than 10 million encounters at our borders, a crisis exacerbated by reckless catch-and-release policies that allowed criminals who broke our laws to remain in the United States. Mills said in a statement on Thursday, President Trump has made it clear that anyone that tries to unlawfully undermine, exploit, or bypass our immigration system is a criminal. The No Citizenship for Alien Invaders Act will ensure these criminals will never be granted U.S. citizenship. That privilege will be reserved for those who respect our laws. It's unclear whether so-called dreamers under the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals policy would be included in this legislation, or whether separate laws would have to be introduced and voted on by members of Congress. Time and time again, Congress refuses to enforce our immigration laws, complains about it being broken, promises to fix it for good in exchange for amnesty programs, and then never actually enforces a law like they promised, Luna told Newsweek. I refuse to be a sucker to the establishment, and I refuse to believe that all we need to end illegal immigration is yet another mass amnesty. We need to draw a line in the sand for the sake of the American people. There could be no citizenship for the nearly 20 million people who live here illegally, she said. Luna did not specifically address the potential impact on DACA recipients. According to the Pew Research Center, the unauthorized immigrant population in the U.S. increased from 10.5 million to 11 million in 2022, the most recent estimates based on data from the 2022 American Community Survey. That increase reversed a trend from 2007 to 2019. However, the total number of unauthorized immigrants living in the U.S. in 2022 was below the peak of 12.2 million in 2007. Alluding to U.S. Census Bureau data, Pew says that more than 22 million unauthorized immigrants live in 6.3 million U.S. households, representing about 4.8% of 130 million households nationwide. In about 86% of said households, either the householder or their spouse is an unauthorized immigrant. Nearly 70% of the households are mixed status or contain both legal and illegal residents. Immigration attorney Rosanna Berardi told Newsweek that this bill aligns with other Trump hardline immigration policies, such as invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to expedite deportations of migrants from countries deemed adversarial. Despite the Republican majority in Congress, I believe the bill passage faces significant hurdles, Berardi said. Immigration remains a deeply divisive issue, and even within the Republican Party, there are varying perspectives on how to address it. Moreover, the bill's terminology, particularly the use of alien invaders, mirrors language used in recent executive actions and is likely to face legal challenges. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, a Republican, has expressed similar hesitation in using the Alien Enemies Act as legal impetus, in the past citing big legal questions and emphasizing the importance of due process. Regarding DACA recipients, Berardi said that if this new legal authorization were enacted, it could effectively eliminate any future opportunities for them to obtain U.S. citizenship. The bill doesn't explicitly exclude them, so it can certainly be viewed as a threat to their future prospects of legal status, she said. While the bill has received backing from these Republican lawmakers, it is anticipated to face significant challenges in the legislative process. Should it pass the House, the bill would likely encounter a Democratic filibuster in the Senate, requiring 60 votes to overcome. What people are saying. Oklahoma Representative Josh Burchine. America is a nation of laws, and if we allow those laws to be subverted by illegal aliens who have no constitutional right to be here in the first place, then we will cease to be a nation. The No Citizenship for Alien Invaders Act prevents illegal aliens from being rewarded with citizenship after breaking our laws. It's time we get back to common sense policies that restore law and order to America. As immigration policies evolve, their impact on families, the economy, and national security remains uncertain. The future of reform depends on shifting political priorities and ongoing public debate. That is all for today in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later in the next video. Till then, take care.
Recent changes in U.S. immigration laws passed by Congress. U.S. immigration policy is undergoing significant debate with proposed legislative changes aiming to reshape legal pathways, enhance border security, and impose stricter regulations on illegal immigration. Among the key initiatives is the Representatives María Elvira Salazar, Revolutionized Dignity Act, which seeks to provide protections for long-term undocumented residents. The proposal applies to individuals who have lived in the U.S. for over 5 years, did not enter the country under the Biden administration, have a U.S.-born children, and have consistently paid taxes. The bill aims to correct misinformation and restore confidence in the immigration system, while ensuring that those contributing to society are not unfairly targeted. In contrast, House Republicans led by Representatives Corey Miles have introduced the No Citizenship or Alien Invaders Act, which seeks to amend the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965 to permanently bar individuals who enter the U.S. illegally from ever obtaining citizenship. The bill's sponsor, including Representatives Josh Brechtin, Anna Paulina Luna, and Andy Harris, argue that the legislation is necessary to close loopholes that permit status assessment after illegal entry. This insists that citizenship should be a privilege reserved for those who follow the proper legal channels. However, critics argue that the bill could impact millions, including DACA recipients, although the legislation's specific implications or must remain uncertain. Another A continuous proposal involves increasing social media scrutiny for immigration applicants. Under this plan, authorities would review an applicant's online activity, including posts and association, to verify their personal and familial players. Opponents believe these measures would help prevent fraud and ensure transparency, while opponents raise concern over privacy violations and government overreach. Border security remains a focal point in the immigration debate, with the conservatives criticizing the Biden administration handling of the situation. More than 10 million border encounters have been reported, fueling claims that our lenient policies encourage illegal crossings and criminal activity. Republican lawmakers are pushing for a stricter enforcement measures, aligning with the former President Trump's hardline stance on immigration. These proposals signal a broader shift in a U.S. immigration policy with competing visions for the future. While some advocate for protections and pathway for long-term residents, others prioritize enforcement and deterrence. Legislative outcomes will have a significant implications for immigration policy, border security, and political discourse in the United States.